So hello and welcome back to my channel, and today we're going to dive deeper on the concept of Satkaryavada. So in a previous video we read about how there is correlation or there is a affirmative answer to the question of does effect pre-exist in the cause, and those who were in the positive sense were called as the Satkaryavadins. So uh, now we're going to read the arguments in favor of Satkaryavad by Ishwara Krishna in Samkhya Karika. First, if effect doesn't pre-exist in cause, it becomes a mere non-entity, like the sky flower or hair horn. That is, can never be produced. No amount of effect by water on milk can produce a pot. So what they try to mean with this statement is that if there is no effect which is pre-existing in the cause itself, then how can you say that it is an existent entity? Then it actually reduces it into a non-entity. So this is substantiated by the argument that no amount of effort by potter on milk can produce a pot. So even if you apply effort, even if you apply the manual intellectual skills of a person, then also you cannot just milk into pot. There has to be some different qualities. There have to be some inherent potential in the milk itself in order to change it into a pot, but it's not there. So these are two totally different things. Milk is different and pot is different. So uh, the first argument is if effect doesn't pre-exist in cause, it becomes a mere non-entity. It is called Asad Karanath. Asad Karnath. Second argument is the effect is only a manifestation of its material cause, as it is invariably connected with it. So the effect and cause are invariably connected. So they are linked together or intertwined in such a way that the effect becomes a mere manifestation of the cause. The cause cannot produce an effect with which it cannot be related with. As we read earlier, milk cannot produce the pot because it is not related with it. It has nothing to do with it. They are two different elements. They are two different objects which have different elemental composition, different properties, and they are not at all related with each other. So the second argument by Ishwar Krishna, what he says that the cause cannot produce an effect with which it cannot be related with. So for this, the effect and cause must be invariably connected. For example, clay cannot produce milk. Obviously, it cannot. This argument is called Upadan Grahanat. Upadan basically means fuel or material cause. So it actually needs a fuel or material cause in order to convert into a effect, and the effect and cause must be intertwined or must be linked together in such a way that they basically form a lineage or they basically form a invariable connection with each other. The third argument is everything cannot be produced out of everything. This suggests that effect before its manifestation is implicit in its material cause. So effect even before its manifestation is basically present in the material cause. It is an implicit thing which is present in the material cause, and then later it shows its true colors, or later it shows or gets manifested in the effect. Good can be only got out of milk and clothes out of threads. This is very true. You cannot get clothes out of curd or um threads out of milk. This is a total fallacy, right? Not even in your wildest of dreams or even your worst of nightmares would have you seen that uh, milk is produced from threads. Anyways, if it were not the case, one would have taken threads to produce milk some or the other way. So everything cannot be produced out of everything. This is called sarvasambhav abhava. Some sarvasambhava abhava. Fourth argument is the fact that only a potent cause can produce a desired effect goes to show that effect must be potentially contained in the cause. Milk has some kinds of potential in it which can be transformed into curd. This potential cannot be seen anywhere else. So this is a very specific quality of milk itself, that it can turn into curd, but you cannot see it everywhere else. This belongs to milk, and this is why these are both very connected. So we can say that uh, the potential to turn into the curd is actually inherent in the milk itself. This potential cannot be seen anywhere else. The production of effect is nothing but actualization of its potential. Shaktasya Shakya Karnat. So just the actualization of potential. Fifth argument is that effect is the essence of material cause and as such identical with it. Effect naturally flows out of cause when the obstructions in the way of manifestation are removed, when all the paths are now cleared in order to the effect to get manifested from the cause. The cause and effect are implicit and explicit at the stage. The cause and effect are implicit and explicit stages of the same process. So the cause is the implicit stage and the effect is the explicit stage of the same process. Like they are both in the same process. It's just that these are two different stages. One is the implicit stage, which is the cause, and the next is the explicit stage, which actually shows up, and it is called the effect. Oil is contained in oil seeds and curd in milk. So this argument can be called as the Karnabhav. Karnabhav. So in order to illustrate the arguments in favor of Satkaryavad, let us take the example of UPSC. So, in conclusion, for all the five arguments which we have read about Satkaryavad, what I perceive is that only those who have an implicit potential clear this examination, right? So, this potential has to be implicit in you according to Satkaryavad. I'm not talking about the general norm or the worldly things which we follow. It is just according to the arguments given by Ishwar Krishna in favor of Satkaryavad. In order to deduce these arguments, I'm just trying to give an example about the UPSC examination. So only those who have an implicit potential within them clear this exam. So you become something because you already have it in you. So this is given by almost all the self-help books that you have to believe. You have to believe in yourself. You have to believe that you already have that thing in yourself. And since the potential cause is within you, you would actually achieve your dreams or desires. So sometimes it is said that the desires arise only because there is a potential cause within yourself. So there exists a potent cause within yourself. That is why the desire arises, the desire to, let's say, clear this examination. So the manifestation of the desire or event is just the actualization of the latent potential, which is said in Saktasya Shakya Karnat. So it is just the manifestation of you becoming a civil servant, which is just the actualization of the latent potential. So this potential have been with you. It has traversed years with you in your body, in your mind, and when you actually become that civil servant or when you actually get that AIR or your name in the holy PD which you have been dreaming for so long, it is just a manifestation of the desired event. It is just the actualization of the latent potential which had been hidden for quite some time. And after the actualization of this potential and because of the clearing of your path, because of the removal of the obstructions in the way of manifestation, you actually get your desires fulfilled. So let's take following this in case I don't get what I wanted. So if you or me, both of us are there in this world, and let's say if I don't get what I desire, so does that mean it never existed in me? I get a question that if it means that a potent cause should always be there according to Satkarvad, does that mean that burning desire to get it doesn't exist within myself? So considering all the arguments which I've given about this very examination, and if in case I did not qualify it, or if in case I did not get what I actually want from life, so does that mean it never existed in me? According to Satkarvadin's arguments which I've read, and who actually decides this potential? Who actually knows that there is a potential cause of achieving something within me? Is there any free will in it, or is it actually predetermined? So, how do I actually churn this potential? How do I actually know that this is my gift or this is my potential and I need to manifest it by bringing certain factors, by bringing a conducive environment, obviously, when things are in my favor. So, what I think of this theory is that how does one find one's potential? Anyways, this is not related to the examination, this is just my chain of thoughts. Anyways, so The criticism or comparative views. The major criticism regarding Sankhya's arguments in regards to Satkaryavad is that they are circular. They are circular. That is, they assume the conclusion in the initial premises itself. So they're just rotating round and round, looping in from conclusion to premise, premise to conclusion. Like they have assumed the premise themselves only that okay, actually we are actually trying to give arguments by considering that the premise is actually initial premise. The conclusion is based on the initial premise. So the first argument given by the critics is by the Nyaya Visheshika. Nyaya believe that effect doesn't pre-exist in cause as they subscribe to the Asatkaryavan thought. They raise the logical they raise the following logical arguments to counter Satkaryavad. If effect is present in cause, then there is no sense in saying that effect is produced. So if you are saying that milk and curd are so curd is already present in milk, then why are you saying that effect is produced, or why are you saying that curd is now produced? This is a total negation of what you said earlier. So if effect is present in cause, then there is no sense in saying that effect is produced. It was already there. Why are you saying that it is now produced? The second argument is that if effect pre-exists in cause, then why do we require an efficient cause in the production of an effect? So most of you guys have read chemistry. I'm assuming basically till class 10th. So what we see is that there are certain substances which then react to form the products and the byproducts. So in that process, we have the catalyst which actually try to augment the process by sometimes decreasing the activation energy and just trying to make a conducive environment for the facilitate or just trying to facilitate the reaction. So, if effect pre-exists in cause, then why do we require an efficient cause in the production of effect? Why do you actually need a catalyst if the result is already there in the cause itself? So, similarly, on the example of UPSC which I've given earlier, why do you need a mentor or a strategy or a conducive environment when it is already there or it is already uh, like it already exists that you will become a civil servant? Why do you need coaching or notes or anything else? Anyways, if pot pre-exists in clay, then what is the role of potter in creating it? What is the role of doer? What is the need for hard work? What is the need of the student to do hard work? What is the role of the student then? So, on the similar thought, what is the role of the potter? Or what is the need for hard work? Or what is your role in actually trying to, uh, what do you say, manifest your dreams or actualize your true potential? What is your role then? So this is actually a counter for the Satkarvadin's arguments. The third argument given by the Nyaya Visheshika is if cause and effect are the same, then why it is distinguished by different names? So if cause and effect are the same, then why are we distinguishing it by different names given? So it should be just cause equals to effect, but no, we are actually trying to refer it by different names. If we admit a distinction in form between cause and effect, we should also admit that there is something new in the effect. So if we're trying to admit a distinction in between cause and effect, we should also admit that there is something which is new in the effect. These are the arguments given by Nyaya Visheshika to counter Satkaryavad. Next is the argument given by Shankaracharya. He says that it is self-contradictory to accept Satkaryavad on one hand and Parinamvad on the other. So Parinamvad was basically the philosophical thought of saying that reality is just a real modification of uh, the world. Or I'll just move a little. I'll just go to the previous pages. And Parinamvad is that effect pre-exists in the material cause and it is a real modification of it. So the effect is just a real modification of the real world. Or effect is just a real modification of the material cause. This is what Parinamvad means. So Shankaracharya is trying to say that it is self-contradictory to accept both Satkaryavad and Parinamvad hand in hand. So like Satkaryavad is accepting that effect pre-exists in the cause, but in Parinamvad we're saying that effect is a real modification of the material cause. If effect is accepted as a real modification of cause according to Parinamvad, Sankhya philosophers are conceding that there is something new in the effect that was not previously in the cause, thereby violating Satkaryavad, thereby piloting their own argument. So in Satkaryavad, the Sankhyan philosophers are of the view that effect pre-exists in the cause, but in Parinamvad, what they're trying to say is that the effect is a real modification of the material cause. So the cause is actually the effect is actually taking shape, or is actually become turning into a real modification of the material cause. So if I accept them both at the same time, Shankaracharya says that you're actually contradicting yourself, because conceding that there is something new in the effect and which was not previously in the cause is like violating Satkaryavad. The next argument is given by the Buddhist. They say that effect is conditional and dependent on cause, Pratitya Samutpad, which is the theory of dependent origination. If flame is the effect, is it present in the oil or cotton? So, if flame is the effect, then what is the cause of it? Is it the cotton which produces the flame, or is it the oil which produces the flame? So, Buddhists are of the views that neither Satkaryavad nor Asatkaryavad is true. They believe in Pratitya Samutpad, the theory of dependent origination, and according to them, there are multiple variables which fall into place in order to manifest, or in order for the effect to take place. So, for the lighting of a flame, cotton, oil, everything should be there, every should be in the favorable conditions in order to manifest the lighting up of the flame. So, in conclusion, what I thought of Satkaryavad, or what conclusion I drew of Satkaryavad from the arguments in favor of Satkaryavad, is that the potential for a living being's experience or actions is already present in the soul in some latent form and gets manifested as life unfolds. So, with every aspect of your life, when the conditions become conducive, then only there is a realization or the actualization of your potential, and then you get your desires or your goals achieved. That is what Satkaryavad means to me, and I hope this philosophy comes true in your daily life as well. So I'll see you guys in the next one, where we dive deeper into Sankhya and metaphysics and the other aspects of Sankhya philosophy. I hope you would have liked this video. Till then, see ya. Bye.